All right, Judge, you're on. Watch yourself in the clinches.
Welcome, Judge. Nice to see you.
Nice,
Great. Nice to be here.
Sir.
This may come in handy, Judge, for later on.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Alice in Weirdland. I've been thinking, and I've come to the conclusion that maybe some of you out there know a few words of more than one or two syllables. So I've decided, for those of you who can read without actually saying the words out loud, that I'd like to recommend a book to you. It was written by this fine gentleman sitting next to me, a man whose name is known and respected in every courtroom in this country. First as a famous trial attorney, and then later as one of our finest judges. The gray fox of the criminal courts, Judge Tulliver Wilson. Judge, it's an honor to have you with us.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here. If I really were a gray fox, I'd quit while I'm still ahead. I never could live up to that introduction.
Well, you know me. I just tell it like it is. And I really love this book. I don't think anyone should even try to cross the street unless he's read it at least twice.
You are very kind. And you have hit upon the real reason I've written it. Modern-day law is so very complex, every citizen owes it to himself to know its many ramifications.
Oh, yes, all that legal stuff is great, but I guess I'm just a ham and eggs guy at heart. You know what I really missed in your book? All that behind-the-scenes stuff. That's what I missed. You were right in the middle of all the big ones. You could really tell it like it is with all those murderers.
Murderers? Only 2 of my cases. Out of over 100 capital cases, only 2 of my clients were declared guilty. And in one of those cases, the defendant later on was adjudged legally insane by a court of appeals.
Well, that really makes it only 1 out of 100. Not a bad batting average, huh?
And that case was clearly a tragic miscarriage of justice. I've told all the facts in my book.
That would be the Fryman case, right?
Right.
How come they always name the cases after the murderers, not the victims?
Billy Fryman was not a murderer.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. I guess I'm remembering it all wrong. Oh, no, wait a minute. Here it is. It says right here on page 173 of your book. And it only took the jury 3 hours to return a verdict of guilty against William Fryman.
Where till you see what he does to the old clown now?
I was only a police beat reporter then, but I remember the Fryman case well. It was the gray fox at his best. You had them all twisted in knots. I thought you'd won. Going away. What happened?
I don't know. To this very day, I do not know. But as I have said in my book, it's a very complex case. So many nuances. I think the jury just did not understand.
Yes, I noticed you said that. In fact, you said a great deal about that case. Went on and on for 3 chapters. Why do you feel so bad about losing just 1 case?
I am still convinced that the killing was accidental. Maybe manslaughter, but certainly not murder.
Maybe you should have said that clearly in your summation to the jury.
I did.
Maybe you think you did, but just this morning I read a transcript of the trial. And you know something? You really blew that case. Your summation doesn't even make any sense. No wonder they dropped the Fryman kid into the gas chamber.
Look, you seem to be implying...
I'm not implying anything. I just tell it like it is. You were drunk the night before you blew that case. You could barely stand on your feet the next day when you gave that jury summation. And poor Billy Fryman had to hold his breath and count to 10 while they dropped the pellets.
You can't be serious.
Mr. Hayes! Mr. Hayes, you remember me? I'm Paul Bryant.
Oh, sure. Hello. I don't know how to tell you this, Paul, but we're on the air now. You're interrupting a coast-to-coast television show.
Yeah, well, I was Judge Wilson's assistant during the Fryman case, and no one was drunk the night before the summation or any time during that trial.
That's true. Mr. Bryan once worked very closely with the good gray judge. In fact, you're much too close a friend to be very objective about it all, right?
Wrong. No one was drunk.
Good try, Paul, and very commendable, coming to the defense of an old friend and all that, but you've come to the wrong place to do welfare work. On this show, we just tell it like it is.
You're a liar.
I'm surprised at you, Paul. You're too good a lawyer to yell liar like that. Unless you're trying to build a smokescreen for Judge Wilson to hide behind.
Moment's over. The camera's not on you any longer, and the mic's been going. Now, please be a good boy and sit down, would you please?
Mr. Haynes, you are a liar and a disgrace. That you have the use of the public airwaves is completely abhorrent.
That must be the first thing you legal brains learn in law school. When the egg hits you smack in the face, just start hollering liar. Liar, huh? Here is an affidavit signed by 6 distinguished members of the law club stating that on the night in question, Judge Wilson was boozing it up until the early hours of the a.m. Care to take a look at it, Judge?
These are vague recollections of a night years ago. No one can swear whether it was whiskey or milk that was being served.
Well, what was it, Judge? Whiskey or milk?
Well, I may have had a drink or two. It doesn't prove I was drunk.
Yes, sure, Judge. You ready for exhibit number 2?
But we still haven't...
Exhibit number 2. Hey, come in for a closer shot of this. You know what this is. It's a traffic ticket. You've all got one sometime or another, only this one's kind of special. It was issued to one Tulliver Wilson later that same night after he'd lapped up all that booze at the club. You know what it's for? Drunk driving, that's what.
May I have a look at that? This says nothing about drunk driving. The ticket is merely for unsafe lane changing.
3 times in one city block? Hey, all you drunk drivers out there. The last time you were weaving through traffic at 3 in the morning, what were you drinking? Cherry soda? That's all right, Judge. You just sit there quietly and try to think of an answer. Oh, don't worry. He'll think of something to say one of these days.
Quite a finish.
Yeah, great. But what do you do to top it tomorrow night?
Oh, I don't know.